everybody, and welcome back to TableTakes. And if you happen to be in Seattle, I hope you guys didn't cook and you stayed hydrated because we had a freak heat wave last, like basically during this week. Almost got up to the triple digits. Woo! In any case, I hope everyone's staying cool. And yeah, it's summer. Hydrate, please hydrate. And stuff. And you know what? I got to do a checkup. Javion, how have you been lately?
Well, I have two fans going in my apartment right now, and the heater is on for some reason, and I can't turn it off. So, yay. I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm doing all right. My board games are also okay. I made sure to move them as far away from the window as possible. Speaking of which, I've been playing a lot of board games. I've had 3 whole weeks to build up my collection with a bunch of cool stuff, but instead, I decided to go back to some of my old classics. I started playing The Quest for El Dorado again with my boyfriend Patrick. We have been going through every single different map, and I don't know why, but I just haven't played it for so long, and now we're just addicted to it. It's really fun. That, and also, I am hard at work practicing using like fake booster packs online for Disney Lorcana because I'm going to be playing in a tournament, well, kind of a tournament at Gen Con. So I've been learning how to get the right distribution of one drops and two drops and all of that, all that stuff means, making sure I have enough items, enough actions, all that other stuff. It's hard. And it takes a while. I see why you get like 45 minutes or something like that to build your card deck. Oh my gosh, I don't know how people do it. It's crazy.
And we can't gamble at games on Gen Con, can we? We can't gamble on
Not
this.
officially, of course,
No, yeah,
but
right.
No.
would like to have
And
how you say, a gentleman's wager, perhaps.
no, I'm not going to advocate that.
No.
I've seen you in Vegas, Peter.
I'm just
I would
joking.
never dare.
Wow, I'm excited that you were able to have a whole a board game date with Patrick and all that stuff and trying to stay as cool as possible with your double fan method. Noir, I hope you're staying a little bit cooler because you're all the way that side of the state.
Yeah, we've just been getting torrential rain and then a little bit of heat. So, that's not concerning. But other than that, yeah, I've had a cool 2 weeks. I've been trying to play Elden Ring. Fun story that has nothing to do with Elden Ring. I'm still finding new pockets in the new bag of holding. I just found one yesterday that I didn't know about. It's a really good bag. But other than that, yeah, it's just been video games, my bag, and oh yeah, I've been playing a lot of Marvel. I just bought the Marvel dice now, so that's my life these days.
Ooh, getting all those quality hours in on the old video games. I mean, I wish I could give. I have not been playing video games for a while, so I understand the finally the relief of being able to get your hands on the keyboard. What about you, Peter? What have you been up to?
Well, yeah, what have I been up to? Well, I went to Kansas for the 4th of July. Why? Yeah, good question. We have a couple neighbors, Douglas and Carol Bailey, and they're dear friends of ours, and they were from Kansas, but we didn't know that. And then they moved back to Kansas, and we're like, what? This is not working for me. So we went to see them, and we had a really nice time, and we shot fireworks. That was really good thing about being in Kansas. Nobody cared if we shot fireworks, and so we did. But they also had hours you had to do it in, which actually turns out I think that everybody should do it this way. It's just like, okay, you want to let fireworks because it was permitted for 2 days for 3 hours each, like 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. for 2 days. Because it was permitted, nobody was firing them outside those windows, right? It was like here in Seattle, they're just like all the time firing during kind of the 4th of July time period. Anyway, I don't know. I think sometimes, let people have that opportunity and then maybe they're more likely to, hold themselves back the rest of the time. I don't know. And also, Marcus and I and Steve and Tanel, we all launched a Kickstarter, a backer kick, excuse me. Oh my God. I didn't say that. Blurp. Marcus should be perfectly justified in striking that little guffaw from the minutes. Yes, a backer kit with Moonbeam and Gazetteer, but we're gonna talk about that in an article. How about you, Bonsai? How have you been?
I've been very, very well. I am so grateful that I convinced one of my friends from Texas to come up here and put in a heat pump. Ha ha! To all of you all. Just rubbing it in your faces. But yeah, it's been nice. I think, yes, I agree with the windows of time of fireworks because as a person, 3 a.m. Why do we need fireworks at 3 a.m. in the morning on the 5th of July? That is an unhealthy hour to shoot fireworks. And lucky enough, I don't think we were in any heat or not heat dryness warning. So I'm happy about that. I don't mind fireworks. I do like just kind of shout out to this like really punny fireworks shop on the reservations called Eagle Fireworks. I love the pun, and I'm gonna keep just every year I pass by it. They've been open for like decades, but I always like talk about illegal fireworks on the res. So that's all I'm gonna have to say. But with that, I think, we have something super, super exciting. Javion, do you want to do the new exclusive?
Let me just unmute. Okay, there we go. Yes. Oh my gosh, this is so exciting. So there have been a lot of things that we've been working on these last few weeks we've been gone. Not the least of which, we are pleased to announce that we have hired Alex Meehan as a part-time Gen Con TV news writer, which means that Meehan will be writing news stories every week for Gen Con TV and for TableTakes. So here's the first article that we have to present for you guys, and it is a very juicy one. So it looks like some game publishers out there have been targeted by a fake reviewer scam. Now, this story was actually originally published by Board Game Wire. It has everything to do with an impersonator who is trying to impersonate Thomas Covert. Thomas Covert is actually the social media manager and marketing coordinator for Board Game Revolution. And Board Game Revolution, well, they do a lot of promotion for tabletop stuff. They have a Facebook group that allows board game publishers to post all about their competitions, their promotions, and new games that they're releasing. But they don't actually have yet any plans to make their own content, which is why, unfortunately, someone decided to impersonate their social media manager, Thomas Covert. This person sent out emails to several companies telling them, hey, we have this new thing that we're doing. We're trying to do some board game reviews. Would you mind sending us some stuff that we can review? And a lot of different companies were targeted, and a couple of them actually, unfortunately, fell for it, including Crowd Games. I believe it's Crowd Games, not Crowd D Games. I may be wrong about that. Crowd Games has a lot of different board games, notably the Evolution series. And on June 27th, they were given an email, and they actually sent out the Bestiary of Sigillum, one of their books for their games. And it was pretty unfortunate. Renegade Studios also sent out several of their games. You might know Renegade Studios from other games like Fox in the Forest, Kids on Bikes, stuff like that. When Thomas Covert found out about what was going on, he actually reached out to several of these publishers. He sent out emails. He even made a Facebook post, and thank goodness he did. There were a lot of different companies that were targeted. There was Daily Magic Games, Devere Games, Gameland Games. Actually, we have a quote here from Matt Hyland of Devere Games, who said, we halted the shipment after learning about the scam, and frankly, it could have happened without our realizing it. So thanks to Thomas Covert, who, when he found out, he was very speedy and very quick about letting people know about this. He's also put the call out on their Facebook page with a post warning publishers and also calling out to all of the folks who frequent their page, saying, spread the word, lend us some assistance here, help prevent further misuse of his identity. And if you are a publisher out there who gets targeted by this and you haven't actually, you don't know what to do about it yet, you can actually talk to the folks at Board Game Revolutions because they have now an attorney on retainer. They are investigating and they are, quote, taking appropriate action against the impersonator when they have enough information to do so. So yeah, if you know anything about this, if you're just like a random person, or if you are a publisher who's actually been targeted, now we have something that we can actually do about it. Join the forces who are trying to stop this from happening. The way it usually works with game reviews, well, reviewers, is you can just send out these emails, and a lot of times people don't really do a lot of like fact checking, like, oh, the watermark on at the end of your email looks legit enough. Oh, I can look you up at the very least and see that you're a real person. Sure, we'll send out some board games, but these folks have not actually done any board game reviews yet. So pretty unfortunate. A lot of different companies were targeted. Hopefully this is, well, the news gets spread enough and people start being a little bit more diligent before they send out board games to people. What do you guys think about all of these different scams? I am not very excited about all of the different game reviewers coming to Gen Con this year, now being worried that they have to like prove like on the spot that they're a game reviewer now that this is happening, because people are going to get scared, right?
Mhm.
I think people will just awareness should solve a lot of the problem. I think, you know, the people that would send out games to reviewers will now actually click on the link and go to the YouTube site and see like, oh yeah, okay. I mean, there's a lot of reviews here, and you know, so hopefully, hopefully this will deter some.
And also a lot of gaming companies, especially in both like video game companies and board game companies, a lot of them do have a trial base that they go ahead and put people on. So they give you maybe a tester game that's like maybe something they have at overstock that they're going to give to folks to kind of do a review. And then that person, when they receive, has to like respond with an email link to what they did with it, to prove like, hey, thank you for this review copy, you know. Like at least that's how I know a lot of other companies work, is that they have this trial period that they put you in, and then when you're on the trial period, you have a limited like contractual year, that if you don't produce anything, they're stop sending you stuff. So it is just like a, if you're already well established. And also board game community reviewers, a lot of us are like, you know, word gets around when you don't do stuff. So it's gonna be, and I'm glad that this person like came out and was like, hey, that's not me, because this is also damaging to their brand in case somebody's like, hey, I know that name. We sent you a game, you did nothing with it. So it's
Yeah,
yeah.
it might seem like small potatoes. I mean, you know, what's a game here or there for like a big company like Renegade Games, but you know, once the floodgates get open and the ball gets rolling, this thing's sent to like snowball, and then it's open season. You know, you can't just get something for free just by, and especially not by impersonating somebody else. Like
Yeah,
that puts a lot of well, negativity on somebody's reputation, right?
exactly.
Yeah, every little bit of advantage somebody gets by scamming is a little bit more work somebody else who's doing it the right way has to go
Yeah,
through. So
we don't want to give the internet a bad name.
people lie on the internet? No, I'm kidding.
So if you guys out there in Twitch chat, if you want to check out the Facebook post where they were talking about this, or if you want to check out the Board Game Wire article that initially came out, you can check out the Twitch chat. We posted the links there.
Yes. And you know what? Since we're keeping the ball rolling on things, new features, new things, new stuff that you can enjoy that is connected to Gen Con TV, Peter, you
Yeah.
have something that you backed it up on deck.
That's right. That's right. I mean, you know, we talk a lot in Crowdfunder Court about various crowdfunding campaigns that we're backing. And well, hey, we started a crowdfunding. But let me read you the article. And this is one of those weird times where I'm going to read an article that references me. And so, like talking about myself, and yeah, it's weird, but we'll just all roll and go with it. Okay, so this article is brought to us by Jeffrey Dome Sanchez, our dear friend at ICV2. Peter Adkison, Gen Con owner and former Wizards of the Coast CEO, launched the Chaldea, Gazetteer, and I want to add, and Marcus Mays and Steve Connard and Tanel Lovett. We all did it together. A crowdfunding project which went live on July 9, 2024. Adkison is wading back into the RPG publishing pool with his new project, the Chaldea Gazetteer. The project offers up a collection of full-color maps from Chaldea, a homebrew Dungeons & Dragons fantasy world that Adkison has been developing for over 40 years. The collection includes various resolutions of digital maps featuring Chaldea's 10 continents and points of interest in the world setting. The collection will also be featured on Gen Con TV's Actoroki. The Chaldea Gazetteer can be found on Backer Kit, and we have raised, I think, about $3,000, $2,000 versus a goal of $1,000. I mean, it's all digital maps, so you can't charge that much for digital maps. But the campaign is going well. And by the way, I just want to add that not only have I DM'd Dungeons and Dragons, I've also DM'd Burning Wheel and Fiasco in the world of Chaldea. And yeah, we're often on Actoroki. So yeah, it was very exciting. It's the first crowdfunder that I have been a part of related to Chaldea. And so that's exciting. And maybe there will be more. We'll see.
Ooh, very, very excited. And it is great to hear that you basically punched the goal in the face and got to 3,000 versus your 1,000.
Set goals you can hit, Bonsai. That's my motto. Set goals you can hit.
Punched in 24 hours. No, just
Yeah, we did. We funded like 2 hours, 3 hours. Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
I gotta say, playing Fiasco in the fantasy world does sound like a lot of fun.
Yeah. I did a thieves. It was a thieves guild Fiasco situation. It's good. I got it.
So yeah, so we'll definitely have. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Javion.
I can't wait till we get to sit Peter down and grill him and interview him on like all of the challenges of running a Kickstarter like we do for everybody else.
Oh my god.
See, we have to have you on 2 screens, the screen as a host and a screen as the interviewer.
Actually, it's been a breeze because I put Marcus, God King Marcus, in charge of it, and I just show up at the meetings and say, "Hey, how's it going?"
There you go. That's how you run a. You say, "I put somebody else in charge." That's how you have a stress-free Kickstarter or not just a backer kit.
Yeah. I only do the fun jobs. I delegate anything else. Yeah.
Well, it's very fun, and I'm glad that y'all hit your goal on Packer Kit. And I can't wait to actually just post links here while we're watching on TableTakes about everything, and just more links on links on links. It's the linkception that I'm very excited about. But now, more things going up. Can we talk about, now that it is 2024? What have we learned over the past void years of 2020? Noir?
All right, well, we got some news on Gamma. Gamma reports Origins Game Fair 2024 attendance. The head count was up over 9%, but it's still under pre-pandemic numbers. The Game Manufacturers Association reported that the attendance number for the Origins Game Fair for 2024, which happened on June 19th through the 23rd, 2024, had 17,706 attendees. This is up over 9% from 2023. I almost said 2003. 2023's attendance total, which was 16,082 people, but still down around 14% from the last pre-pandemic show in 2019, where Origins drew 20,642 people. Additionally, Origins Game Fair this year had 326 exhibitors, which is up from last year's, which was 305. Event totals also were up from 6,135 to 6,528, which is up 6%. Gamma also reported charity events of note, and at the show, they raised $7,000 for Extra Life for Children's Miracle Network hospitals, and 88 pints of blood were donated via the Red Cross, the on-site Red Cross blood drive. So some good was done. Some records are being broken, or at least from recent years. looks like people are getting into the swing of things, but still stay safe out there.
All right, awesome. Like that's good to know. Like, keep in mind the Red Cross Blood Drive will also be at Gen Con TV. So if you want to try to beat those numbers and donate 89 pints of blood, that's what we got to challenge each other. We got to do that. Got to beat them.
Okay, multiple people. Don't be one person trying to donate 89 pints of blood. It will not work out for you.
No, but it's glad to see that like numbers are starting to show back up and people are starting to get out more. And especially having so much people come out and do stuff for charity. It's always the best to hear about that.
It's important safety tip. Thank you, Bonsai Noir. Really, really good.
Someone might be draining themselves to death out here.
Yeah, no, you gotta be careful. But with that, thank you for giving us those numbers. With that, we need to actually talk to somebody who was at the Origins Fair. Peter, what do you have to report about something you may have saw that piqued your interest?
Oh, yeah. Well, thank you for asking, Bonsai. Yes, I was at Origins this year, and I did attend this particular function I'm going to tell you about in this article that was brought to us by Jeffrey Dome Sanchez again, at ICV2. The Academy of Adventure Gaming Arts and Design inducted 5 new members into the Hall of Fame at Origins Game Fair, as announced by the Game Manufacturers Association. This year, the Academy honored 2 game designers and 3 artists. On the design side, Matt Leacock, designer of Pandemic, Forbidden Island, and Forbidden Desert, was honored alongside the late Terry Amthor, who wrote Shadow World and Cult. On the art side, legendary Magic the Gathering artists Rebecca Guay and Christopher Rush went into the Hall of Fame along with D&D illustrator David Trampier. 2 games were also added to the hall: The Amazing Labyrinth by Ravensburger and Twilight Struggle by GMT Games. Recently, Gamma also released the Origins Game Fair attendance numbers. Oh, yeah, which we just covered. And see this article, and there's a link, or just go scroll back and watch Noir's coverage of that. There you go. And let me tell you, while I was there, I attended the ceremony, and Christopher Rush, who was inducted, he's passed away, so this was inducted posthumously. His daughter was going to receive the award, but she had something, an illness in the family, and wasn't able to make it. So I was very honored to receive the reward on behalf of Chris Rush, who I worked with back in the early 90s on doing Magic art. So Chris Rush, by the way, he did the Black Lotus. It's a famous piece of art in Magic. So there you go.
I think that's like the world's most expensive trading card.
Did it end up being Charizard? I'm just sorry. I'm just randomly remembering us like, did it beat Charizard? But yeah, no, the Black Lotus, very classic.
Oh no, we actually covered this. It's a rare Pikachu that was in a magazine that somebody bought for a ridiculous amount of money.
It's hard to keep track of which card that is this. Yeah.
The important thing is that all of these cards that try to break records or they're always compared to the Black Lotus, and that's what's
yes.
Yeah, that's the cornerstone.
I have a question for all of you guys. Who here has actually played a game of either Twilight Struggle or Amazing Labyrinth?
Twilight Struggle. I've got it.
Okay, so you've actually played it.
Yeah.
I spent 2 hours.
Don't dare me to break it out tonight.
Oh God, no, please, no.
I will admit I tried to play Twilight Struggle, but I struggled. And so I had somebody else take over for me, which the game continued for another, like, I forget how long did they play? 8 hours. And I had to
Yeah,
you enjoy yourself.
Yeah, you gotta book a day for that. It's maybe a weekend sort of thing.
Okay,
so maybe it's like playing Mega Civ.
Labyrinth might be more our speed.
No, but that's good, and I'm glad that you were able to step in and accept the award. And
it was a great honor. It was a great honor, Bonsai. It was a nice moment.
Oh well, wait, that flashback to speaking about like cards and like cards becoming cool. I feel like we need to go to a world long, long ago in a galaxy far, far away for the next card game, right, Javion?
Absolutely, Bonsai. This article comes to us from Alice Giovanni of Polygon. Now, you all know how much I have been really thrilled about the two new titans of card gaming, um, Disney Lorcana, of course, and Star Wars Unlimited. Now, we had already announced that Star Wars Unlimited was getting its first expansion, Shadows of the Galaxy, which features all your favorite Rebel characters and bounty hunters like, yes, of course, Grogu and the Mandalorian, and yeah, all of those guys. So, Polygon has the exclusive details on where you can actually get to pre-order the two-player set, but not the booster packs, unfortunately. While Miniature Market is the only online retailer where you're going to be able to find booster boxes available to purchase, nowhere are you going to be able to actually pre-order them. But the two-player set you will be able to pre-order right now if you head on over to Miniature Market. It's retailing at $34.99 plus, shipping, handling, and tax. But it's going to fully launch on July 12th. Now, why should you get the two-player set? Well, if you liked The Mandalorian, if you like Star Wars stuff, now is a great time to jump into the game. If you're going to Gen Con, you might actually be able to get your hands on some exclusive promos and stuff like that. I myself am learning to play it finally at Gen Con. I've reserved a whole hour dedicating to nothing but learning how to play this dang card game that I've been so excited about but never actually played myself. You can also see Star Wars Unlimited on the Asmodee website, the publisher, but it is sold out there. So the only way to get it is to go to Miniature Market. Each booster pack of cards is going to have 16 cards. That's usually only 12 cards, but they've got a lot of extra stuff in there too. You get 9 commons, 3 uncommons, a leader card, a base token card, a single either rare or legendary card, and an additional foil card that could be legendary, but most of the time you're going to end up getting a common or an uncommon foil, which is, to be expected, right? Speaking as somebody who has been opening a lot of booster packs right now, you should definitely at least experience the the stack of boosters on your table, opening them one by one, the anticipation just rising over and over again as you've collected all of these different things and hoping and waiting for that one really good card to come out. Or you can just try out the two-player starter set, which comes with 250-card decks and all of the stuff that you actually need in order to play the game, which you can actually pre-order right now. So definitely check this out. There's a lot of really cool stuff, and it's only grown and grown in popularity ever since its first release for Star Wars Unlimited. So definitely check this out now. And thanks again to Polygon for this article.
I do have to say, trading card games prepared me for the disappointments I would suffer later in life, just from opening up booster packs and like always wanting something good and never getting it. Who says you don't learn life lessons from tabletop?
Exactly. When I was getting into Disney Lorcana, I would get all the starter decks, and I was like, there's no way I'm buying any booster packs at all. But then they got me. They got me. They put a booster pack inside the starter set. Star Wars Unlimited does the exact same thing. And it's like, oh, no, we're only putting this in here so you can customize your little starter deck a little bit if you want to. But then you realize not all the cards fit with your deck. Not all the cards fit. And then if you want some extra cards, maybe you can go out and you can buy some for real cheap. You can buy them for pennies. Okay. Or you could just buy a booster pack. You buy a whole set of booster packs, and then suddenly you got a whole collection of cards, and you didn't have to go to a retailer and find a bunch of individual ones and figure that out. No, you could just buy all the booster packs. Somebody should have cut me off a long time ago. Sorry.
I'm just saying the first taste is always free.
Yeah.
I know.
I'm gonna see if I can interject. Bonsai, if you'll give me permission, I need to. You know how news organizations sometimes have to issue a retraction? Well, this is like a same issue. I got an issue and a retraction earlier in my article about Hall of Fame winner Matt Leacock. I credit him with designing Forbidden Dessert, which that does sound like a delicious game.
It sounds like an awesome game.
It's Forbidden Desert. Thank you, Javion, for setting me right. Forbidden Desert, and I even went and looked at the image, looked it up online. Yep, sure enough, there's a big picture of a sand dune, not a big picture of a sundae or something. Yeah,
But
it's Forbidden Desert.
yeah, no. That no worries. We always read things wrong every now and then. But also, hey, if you want to go ahead and make Forbidden Dessert as a board game, 100%
I would
will
play that.
would
Yeah.
play that
We would or eat it.
or eat it.
That just sounds like a board game about things you're not supposed to eat, but like look really delicious. Like a bunch of cool
Oh,
So it's
tokens or something.
forbidden to everybody who's not playing.
There it
yeah.
is.
There you go. You know what? I feel like there's no real good segue. I thought there was going to be a good segue, but I'm just going to go ahead and swoop right in there. And guess what? The 2024 NE nominees have just been announced. Of course, there's a lot of games that we could go through, but I'm only going to choose 2 categories because that's a lot of things, info dump that I don't think you guys really want to hear. Even though it is quite exciting, and plus it helps people find new and exciting games that they may have not been aware of. So, I'm going to give like a very, very short snippet of the various different games that have been nominated for Best Game nominations. Classic, Cobalt's Ate My Baby Orange Book. It's Cobalt's Ate My Baby, but using the polymorph system. Next one, Not the End. A simple tater pig, TTP-RPG, with unique system, Hexis, that is based upon push your luck mechanics where you get to draw color tokens from a bag. Outgun, a cinematic action RPG redesigned to replicate action movies with campaigns of off-brand settings based on movies like John Wick or games like Uncharted. Salvage Union, it's a mech game in a post-apocalyptic world. Dark Shadow, an OSR dungeon delving game that is designed to be accessible for fifth edition players. Those are our best game nominations. This is one for Game Product or Product of the Year nominees. So we got the CBR plus PNK augmented cyberpunk setting forged in the dark rules. Eat the Reich. You play as a vampire commando fighting Nazis in World War II. Of course, again, some of these games have been double booked in some of these categories, such as Not the End, as listed what I said before. Outcast Silver Raiders box set is a beautiful OSR game with an occult medieval setting. Outgun, Salvage Union, and Shadow Dark. You heard that. They were nominated for the Best Game of the Year. Valleys of the Flower, a campaign setting based off of Arthurian myths and designed for use in OSR games. And also, Koriko, a magical year, a solo game based off of Kiki's Delivery Service, and Vampire, the Masquerade 5th Edition, the Book of Nod Deluxe Artifacts Edition. Basically, it's a $300 set of role-playing props for Vampire. Sorry, I hope you guys were able to understand the floodgate of information that I posted on there. And I wonder if any of you are familiar with any of the games that I just said. Maybe also put it on some of your like wish lists of things that you might want to keep an eye on to get for yourself.
Well, Cobalt Ate My Baby is a classic, so interesting to see that coming back in the polymorph version for sure.
Yeah, I think for me, the one that I probably will be the Koriko, Magical Year for Kiki's Delivery Service. Oh my God, it's so pretty. If you ever look at the link I posted in there, it's a pretty game and it's a solo like tarot type card game. So I'm like, ooh, maybe I will get it. But with that, I feel like we can go ahead and roll into a Cipher System. Ooh, by Monty Cook. Noir, what do you got for me?
Oh, what I got for you is we just one second. We just saw a bunch of award-winning content, and now Cypher is going to be helping you potentially make the next award-winning show with the Cypher Stream Fund. Monty Cook Games has unveiled the Cypher Systems Stream Fund, which is going to be a new grant program that offers financial aid or financial and promotional support for content creators. In order to entice content creators to broaden the discussion of MCG branded games online, the company is offering up to a $500 grant and promotional assistance to select creators willing to create stream content about their games and IP. This grant is primarily aimed at building up new and smaller streamers looking to create original content about MCG's games, not including product reviews, streams of convention panels, or similar events. Or self-promotion, in fact. To be eligible for this grant, the stream or proposed stream must feature original MCG related content and launch on the Anywhere Door stream, which is going to be MCG's channel on the forthcoming Moonbeam platform. I'm sure we'll be hearing more about them. And this is going to be happening between January and May of 2025. Creators may also stream the content created for MCG games on other platforms at the same time that they launch it on the Moonbeam platform. This grant opens up to applications in August 2024, and more details will be released about the grant at a later date. I think this is exciting. It's always good when there's something to help new people get into the space, or especially if it's financially. But what do you all think about this?
I think it's great, honestly, and it's something that I'm glad that other people are starting to get the connection that, hey, if I fund somebody who is got potential and create a community backing my own gaming system, and somehow we can do like a crit roll or or something like that, or and launch, something like, it's glad to see that people, especially game designers, are like, hey, you know what? Maybe I should get into this live streaming space.
Maybe Peter can answer this, but what do you think? Do you think we would qualify for this grant? What about TableTakes?
Grant. You stymied me, JV. I'm dumbfounded.
Okay, great. So I'll do all the legwork. I'll send in a portfolio of all of our work. Don't worry, I'll only use the best clips, and we'll see. We'll just see what they say. What can it? How bad could it be? Can't hurt to try.
I'm not going to ask one of my exhibitors for. Wait a minute, I ask exhibitors for money all the time. I think I'm just going to say I think it should just be included in the exhibitor package, right?
Every little bit helps.
I mean, it would be great to also, for, like you said, backing up all these folks to create like a new brand, new person, new blood in the space. And I feel like it is interesting that people are like I said before, leaning into the streamer space, and especially on a new platform in a streamer space. So we'll probably hear more about that later. You know what? I feel like, though, we need to call upon the mountain, hoo-ha-ha, Fire Mountain, hoo-ha-ha. Please, Javion, tell us more
Fire
about
Mountain!
this.
Fire Mountain!
Please send us fireballs. This article comes to us from Jeffrey Dome Sanchez of ICV2, and it is all about a game that I have been super excited to talk about on our show. It's called Wrath of Fire Mountain. Yeah, this is a super cool game. It's a dice rolling, not even worker placement, but area control game, all about Fire Mountain, which is a giant volcano, which is worshipped by a cohort of cave people that live around it for some reason and haven't decided to move away yet. It's a strategy game. You are trying to move your cave people around to different positions on the different tiles, which change every single time you play the game because it has like new layouts and stuff like that. You're trying to explore, catch dinosaurs, and of course, worship the volcano and hope that it doesn't shoot lava all over your township. You can actually control the volcano and push the different tiles off the board to sort of switch up the landscape as you play the game. Kind of like Labyrinth, actually. And you score points based off of the area that you control and your presence at the volcano during the game. Whoever gets the most points wins, and it's a game that's played for 2 to 4 players, ages 10 and up, very family friendly, and it only plays in about 30 to 45 minutes. It looks like it's going to retail for $28. And if that wasn't enough, this game is actually a team up between Phil Walker Harding. Ever heard of him? Maybe Sushi Go, maybe Emotep, or and Eric M. Lang. Oh, maybe heard of him too. Oh, Blood Rage, perhaps the Bloodborne board game, Rising Sun. I am a huge fan of Eric Lang and Phil Walker Harding, actually. I actually was on Facebook when Eric was trying his best not to spoil anything, but also tease that there's some really cool design coming out. Apparently, this is one of his babies. I think he just always says that all of his games are his babies, and they're all very, very dear and precious to him. I get a lot of my game design advice from him, actually. So I love a game with dice rolling to decide your actions. I actually had this exact board game design in mind when I was thinking about making my own board game. And if I would just do some play testing, I would finally make a board game and somebody else wouldn't steal my idea before I could get to it. But that's on me. I hope you guys are excited because this game is going to release in August this year, and you can get a little sneak preview of it at Gen Con this year. I saw a lot of people talking about it, and I saw it on the Gen Con preview on a Board Game Geek. So super, super excited to see more of this later on this year.
I'm right in there with you about Eric Lang, Javion.
Yeah.
He is one of the best designers of our age.
I remember that first Gen Con where I actually got to interview him, and I met him at our the after party after the convention, and man, he is fun. I'm not gonna say anything else about that.
Yeah,
We had a lot of fun that day.
I've had some fun with Eric too.
All right.
Yes, let's go on.
But yes, I know this is totally off topic, but like on lava soil is actually very good in nutrients and it's great for growing plants. Okay, as somebody who's raised on a tropical island on a dormant volcano, explodes more land. That's the lava. The volcano makes more land which you can expand on. I'm just saying.
And obsidian.
And obsidian.
And dessert.
But besides that, before I go crazy on my little islander discussion, let's go ahead and actually get into more discussions, personal discussions that I like to go ahead. We're going to be doing the bonsai discussions that we're going to be. My topic for today is ridiculous tabletop gaming superstitions. I don't know if you guys have these folks at the table. For example, some people who may not want to roll with particular objects. For me, if my dice curse me twice with bad rolls, I change my dice. That is, you get 2 times, and if you keep rolling under 5, you go back in the bag. What are some of the superstitions that you have playing? Do you have a set of lucky dice? Do you have a punishment cage for bad dice, or anything like that?
I 3D printed a casket for my bad dice because they're dead to me.
All right, that's a good one.
I try to play yellow in any game that has colors. You know, like what color you play? Blue. You play. I like play yellow because nobody ever wants to play yellow, and that way I always get to play the color I want.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I thought it was like a charity thing because nobody plays yellow, and you're like, oh, poor yellow never gets picked up. I'll play with them.
No, it also fits in my color palette.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, it fits in my color palette, and I don't, I don't want to, and I don't know if it's so much superstition as I do feel like I have less chance of winning if I'm playing a different color than yellow.
What about you, Javion?
Okay, this might not be as much of a superstition as it is just like a practical thing. I prefer to keep my board games on their side in my board game shelves. I know a lot of people hate that because, all like the shifting that the game does. But I say if you are doing it right, it's actually better and it's much prettier, and you're going to save so much more space in your board game shelves. I couldn't fit all of these board games on my shelves if I did it any other way. Granted, I do have a lot of horizontally stacked board games on top of the shelf, but that's neither here nor there. It's completely beside the point. Put your board games on their sides. If you have to, if you're really that worried about it, you can put all of the cardboard inserts that you've been throwing away on top of them.
All
That
right.
way it keeps it all flush and safe and nothing shifts around in the inside.
Mm.
I'm not crazy.
All right, no. That definitely is something that.
I mean, who you trying to convince right now?
No, but that's great. I'm glad that we all here, everyone. So Peter's got a favorite color. Noir's got a punishment chest or casket because they're dead. I also subscribe to the if you roll bad, you're in the timeout corner. And Javion, very, very not crazily talked about putting board games on their sides. But yes.
Yeah.
With
Normal.
that though.
It's normal.
Yeah, totally normal. But with that, I feel like we should go ahead and get into the crowdfunder. Let's go ahead, Peter. We've been hearing a lot about this new streaming service, that might be available. Multicook might also be sponsoring small streamers who can stream on this platform. Can you please tell us a little bit more about it?
Apparently I can. I mean, we've known about this for a little while because we have been involved in playtesting Moonbeam. But now that there's a backer kit crowdfunder raising money for it, the cat is out of the bag. There is a new streaming service coming to us that is going to revolutionize the world of streaming, and it is gonna Twitch is gonna stop Twitch, and it's gonna take over. It's gonna be a great so they have raised $42,000. Trust me, they have other funding as well, but they've raised 42,000. Yeah, because you're not going to start a streaming service for $42,000 versus a goal of 20,000, and they have 28 days left. It is funding on backer kit. Okay, so reading from their page, it says, are you ready to revolutionize live streaming? Then back Moonbeam today. Moonbeam is a new live streaming and community platform. And by the way, the word community here is, I think, very important piece of this, if I can digress for a moment, because like on Twitch, it's hard to create a community. I mean, people come watch a show on Twitch, but it's difficult to engage with them outside of the show. But in Moonbeam, imagine if Twitch and Discord had a baby and up in the sky, so they can call it Moonbeam at night. That would be so it's those two things kind of conceptually added together. I think that's the way I would describe it. So it is a new streaming community platform, empowers creators, fans, and communities worldwide. But let's just go through a couple of things that they're doing. Is that they are revolutionizing moderation. They have better safety tools to shield against cyberbullying, toxic speech. They have an interesting collaboration and community working together, what they call realms. So instead of having a channel, you have a realm, and you can invite people to stream. You can have if two streams overlap at the same time, it doesn't matter in a realm. Where on Twitch, Marcus would be really upset if that happened. I almost did it once, but thank God. Anyway, so I think that this idea where there's ongoing chat and different channels and stuff for conversation like Discord has in a realm where you're streaming is a really, really interesting idea. And I think very interesting for people who are trying to make money at streaming. They are promising 100% of the contributions on Moonbeam go to the creators. So that I guess the way I interpret that, this is not Moonbeam official, is that Moonbeam as a platform will be funded more by advertising and sponsorships, but money that you get as a streamer, that you get all of it. That sounds pretty cool. So so we are involved. Our crowdfunder that we're doing called the Chaldea Gazetteer, so is that on BackerKit they have a functionality for what's called I call them affiliate programs, where there will be multiple crowdfunding campaigns all together affiliated with each other. So the Moonbeam campaign has several companies that are showing their support for Moonbeam. Gen Con is one of them. We have Gen Con TV. The Chaldea Gazetteer is one of those campaigns, but also we have Evil Hat is in on this thing. They're doing what's called Dice Pool, which is a GM advice streaming series that they are going to release on this. The Panic Table, they are doing a product called Void Stream, which is a tool set of audio and video artifacts for sci-fi horror games. Monty Cook Games, as mentioned earlier on this show, is doing the Anywhere Door, which is a community hub for Monty Cook Games content. And KP11 Studios is doing a project called Project Dastan. I apologize if I didn't say that correctly. It is an Indian TTRPG that is actual play that is being filmed and streamed from India. So there you go. Anyway, I encourage everybody, go check it out. This is like a chance to be on the ground floor of what could become a next big thing in streaming on this thing, internet. That's it.
Oh, no, that's cool. Thank you
So
so
cool.
much for bringing that up. And we'll probably bring it up again as it gets closer to the date, just to kind of hype it up and also to let other folks who are also different content creators know, hey, this is a new platform, new opportunity, avenue. Now, with me, I get to present something, Deep Regrets. This is what we're going to be. So, Deep Regrets, an unfortunate fishing game. A game about reeling progressively more horrifying things out from the depths, managing your madness and pushing your luck at sea. This is a board game that was directly inspired by the recent video game Dredge. I don't know if y'all played that. It's space management and dealing with eldritch horror game that's really good. Okay, if you guys haven't played Dredge, please play Dredge. It's great. But you play as a fishing boat captain trying to haul the best catch in the ocean filled with Lovecraftian horrors. The gameplay this is the Deep Regrets. Gameplay follows simple enough on a pattern. You go fishing, you haul up something monstrous, you go to port, sell your catch. You can either buy better gear that may or may not be contaminated by the deep depths of horror, and then set out to fish in deeper waters where you can pull up even greater horrors. As you fish, your captain will begin to amass regrets and possibly go mad. The end game, you total up all of your points, and the player with the most regrets, basically the one who uses the most contaminated eldritch horror things and magic, who basically is in the depths of insanity, has to throw away their most valuable fish and then tally up points. You take the remaining points and discover who is the winner. So yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed. It has 12 days left. I love the artwork. It also comes with an option to get a colorful coloring book and a special edition box with a very well-crafted wooden inlay box. You guys know me. I'm a big woodworker, and I know quality woodworking when I see it. So I hope y'all check it out. Deep Regrets, an unfortunate fishing game. And you know what? I feel like that's it for today. And you know what? I noticed, Peter, you have some very special signage behind you that maybe you should be the one who tells us what's happening this week.
Oh, yeah. Yes, I have visual aids for my outro today. I didn't even think about it. We are going to be exhibiting at Gen Con, meaning Gen Con will be at Gen Con this year. Woo-hoo. I mean, Gen Con TV actually will be exhibiting in the entertainment section. We will have a small table there, and these are little banners that we made at Sarah's request. Yes, Sarah Moore from Sarah's Table. Oh, nice segue. That's coming up soon here on Gen Con TV in 2 hours at 5 p.m. Pacific time. Sarah's Table will be here on Gen Con TV, and Sarah will be running a game of The Crown, episode 2, a campaign. I guess it's a campaign, episode 2 of The Crown, which is a game about playing gods by our beloved Damon Van Hee, who we are all big fans of around here. So check out that game. On Monday, we will have Peter versus Machine at 9 a.m. Pacific time and Dress to Quest at 6 p.m. Pacific time. By the way, I'm going to interrupt and ask Marcus, do we have anything this Saturday? Is Isekai start this Saturday or next? Yes, we also have this Saturday. We have 2 programs. We have Isekai Realms, which is an RPG series. It's going to be a 3-episode series. In the premise is that you, as a player, you get transported into a magical realm, and so you're playing yourself in like the Forgotten Realms. I mean, that sounds pretty terrifying, actually. And then also Saturday we will have Popularium. Popularium is Chaos Agents, which is a trading card game being developed by Richard Garfield. We'll have a special about that as well this weekend. So anyway, back to Monday. Actually, I covered Monday already. Tuesday, we will have Indie by Night, but it's now called Hunting Indie by Night. They've gone from playing vampires to playing hunters. Yes, that's going to be at 7 p.m. Pacific time on Tuesdays. On Wednesdays, we have miniatures painting with Path of the Brush at 4 p.m. Pacific. And then Actoroki at 6 p.m. Pacific. This next week's episode of Actoroki is going to be special. It's going to be Burning Saratov, which is a large cast where we usually break everybody up into smaller groups. We're going to have everybody in the cast together at the table at the same time to do what Burning Wheel calls a trait vote, which is a very interesting, kind of unique mechanic. Also, some big world news that's going to happen at the show. Then Thursday morning at 10 a.m. Pacific time, we will have Blood on the Clock Tower. Then join us again at 5 p.m. for some Shadowrun with Roll with Rem Alternus. And then Friday, what are we going to do? We're going to be back here, 2 p.m. TableTakes. That's it. All right. Thank you to the Gen Con TV crew. Marcus Mays, Steve Connard, Sarah Moore, Tanel Lovett, Danny Kennedy, and Jim Slonikowski. Also, thanks to my delightful co-hosts, Javion Smith, Bonsai Baby, and the Noir Enigma. Thanks to you for stopping by and watching and hanging out with us in chat. All right, remember, follow Gen Con TV. Please hit the follow button and follow our channel. We would love that. Thank you. All right, that's it. Goodbye. Have a good week. Have a good weekend.